Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been a year since I've been here and I wanted to give you an update on where the hell I have been. So, I joke, I jest, but the reality is I've been through a lot of changes in my life, a lot of turmoil, and I wanted to share this because I'm hoping that it connects with someone that is maybe going through a similar situation or not. If you just want something to watch, it's going to be a short video. Hopefully I'm going to try and do it in a nutshell. But basically, I was in a relationship with my partner for 9 years, close to 9 years. We met when I was 22 and we decided to go separate ways. Well, I guess I made the decision that I wanted to leave the relationship. I think when you're with someone for that long and when you meet them so young, you tend to grow together and you kind of don't grow individually for a lot of the time. And I felt so stunted. I felt like I had been in this relationship with this amazing person who, we are still such good friends, and, there was nothing bad that forced the relationship to end, but I felt so stagnant and so stuck in myself and so stuck in this complacency and not really understanding who I was and not having those years in my early 20s to figure out who that was. And that's he takes no part in that. That's me, not doing that for myself. But I knew that by ending that relationship, it was going to force me to have to look at myself and look at kind of some changes that I needed to make in my life. So that was the catalyst. That was the catalyst for, I guess, why I went MIA on YouTube, why there was radio silence, because I was coming out of a 9-year relationship and I guess all the baggage and crap that goes with that. We were living together. You may have seen snippets of our apartment together, which was in Sydney, close to Bondi. And, to pack up your life, which was fucking awful, to pack up your life and then make the decision to move back in with your mom was a big one. My nervous system was a wreck. I moved to the Central Coast, which is about an hour and a half out of the city in New South Wales, to Copacabana, where my mum was living at the time. And to paint a picture, you've got the bustling city of Sydney, which is probably the biggest metropolis in Australia, where there's just so much going on. And then to move to Copacabana, which is a small little beach town with boomers and retirees and not a whole lot going on, was a shock to the system. I was freaking out because I was basically left without distraction. I was left with my own thoughts. I was working remotely. I was living with my mom, who I love, but, being 31 at the time was I 31? 30 at the time, and moving back in with a parent comes with its own challenges, as you can imagine. So that's what I was going through at the time. I was there for about a year. I was on Struggle Street, still working, as I said. My job was amazing. They let me work remotely. They gave me time off when I needed it to sort of go through what I was going through. And yeah, I felt, I guess, pretty isolated in that time. And I thought, maybe this will be a good time for me to get back on YouTube and film, but it really wasn't. It was just a time for me to self-reflect and go through the notions of a heavy breakup, which I'm sure a lot of you, if you're watching, have been through a breakup and know how hellish it can be, how hellish it is most of the time, and how it takes such a big toll on you mentally. So if you've gone through something like that, I commend you, and I will give you a gold medal, metaphorically. So yes, that's where I have been. Typical of my mum, she impulsively decides to move to Melbourne. She never really spent much time in Melbourne, but one of my sisters lives there. She has been living there for about 6 years. And then my other sister, let me just reference, I have 5 sisters, blended family, but 5 sisters more or less. And one of them was living in Melbourne, had been there for 6 years. One of them, who was living in Brisbane, decided to move down to Melbourne. And so my mum decided, okay, well, I want to move to Melbourne. And I was like, hell nah, I am not moving to Melbourne. No. Not moving to Melbourne. Too cold. Don't know enough about it. Not doing it. So I moved in with my dad for 5 weeks. who lives in Avalon with his wife and my younger sister. Avalon's on the northern beaches. And my parents got divorced when I was 5. Was I 5? 7, 5, something like that. And so I moved in with my mum when I was in my teens. I was 15. I hadn't lived with my dad since then. But you know what? It was healing and it was cathartic, and I got to spend some really nice time with him and get to know him a bit better and get to know me a bit better, because as I said, I haven't spent much time with him, and like I saw so much of myself in him, which was really weird because I always was just like, nah, we're not the same, but we really are. And we did a lot of yoga together, exercising. I had a lot of time to myself to kind of reflect and kind of connect with my dad again. And that was something that was really needed at the time, and something that I'm really glad that I did. And our relationship is a lot better because of it. Anyway, to cut the story short, I'm now in Melbourne temporarily. I'm living with my mum and my other sister, Mimi, because I needed a place to stay and I was looking for a place in Sydney. But if you live in Australia, particularly New South Wales, particularly Sydney, you know that the housing market is hectic right now. It's dismal. There is such a shortage of apartments and the price is through the goddamn roof. So that is my goal. I am trying to find an apartment in Sydney that I can move back to in the next few months and get out from under my mum's roof, because I love her, but I need my independence. I need my life back. Yeah. And it's now 2025. Happy New Year, y'all. And I have decided that this is the year that I get back on YouTube, that I give myself that creative outlet that I have been craving. It's this feeling of like when you live somewhere temporarily, you can't put down roots. You can't sort of fully express your creativity in ways that you want to, because it's so temporary and so transient. So the whole priority goal of the next few months is to find my own place so I can start making a space that's mine and sharing that with you guys and giving you home updates. And, you know, I don't want this channel to just be interiors as much as I love it. I also want it to be about like just general style, clothing, life updates, you know, miscellaneous. That's what I think I want this channel to be. But in a nutshell, that's what's been going on. That's the thick of it. That's what I've been in the thick of it. But I'm feeling better. And I just turned 32 and this is going to be my year. It's going to be my year. If there's even one person out there that's going through something like this, I just want to connect. And it's so helpful knowing that there's other people out there that are going through something similar, because it can be really scary being in your early 30s and feeling like you're starting over. But I'm trying to see this as an adventure, and for you to come along on the journey, which I hate that word, but it's a journey. I want to just get on with it and get going again and feel inspired and creative again. And that's what I want this channel to be. So if you made it to the end, congrats. I owe you a coffee. And okay, bye.